Roadium Radio knows how to podcast. Roadium Radio knows how to podcast. In the city of Wilmington, we keep it rockin'. So come on, shake it for me, Kelly.
Yeah, Dr. Dre is in full effect, and I gotta tell y'all a little something. Eazy-E is down with us. MC Ring, you know he's down with us. DJ Yella is down with us. Arabian Prince, you know he's down with us. Tony A. the Wizard is down with us. JJ Fag is down with us. Timmy T, you know he's down with us. DJ Pooh Boy is down with us. Toddy B and Spade, they're down with us. My boy Ice Cube, you know he's down with us. I like to mention, so pay attention to where I'm from, Compton, but the tapes are from the Rhodium. My name is Dre, listen while I play. And by the way, I'm also down with NWA. Yo, Steve at the Rhodium is down with us. Slanging funky tapes, it is a must. We're number one.
Tony A. Tony A. When you're ready, go.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio, episode 43, if I'm correct. Yes, I think it is episode 43. I'm not going to waste too much time with announcements. You guys already know, you guys want to watch the DOCUMIXERY, go to DOCUMIXERY.com. If you guys want to purchase the new mixtapes via download, go to DOCUMIXERY.com. As a matter of fact, people have been hitting me up for more CDs for the hard copies. I'll be picking those up tomorrow. I'll be picking up 88 Boom and Bass, 86 in the Mix, High C, and 24/7 because people have been wanting those CDs once again. And I got 4 more coming. After that, I'll have the documentary on Blu-ray hard copy as well, that you guys can order those too. But before I introduce my next guest, first of all, let me say that I am truly honored and I'm truly blessed to have these brothers here with me. These brothers are considered, Bakersfield royalty. I'll even go as far as saying Mexican royalty. Not only did they breaking artists as far as playing their music and help boosting their career, but also breaking down barriers as far as being Mexicans on the radio. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce the Baka Boyz, Eric and Nick.
You got it right.
You got it right this time.
Thank you, my brother.
Good job.
Thank. You know what? Let me ask you guys first. Beginning with you, how was the drive over here?
Oh, the drive was fine.
Yeah?
Drive was fine. Ran into a little bit of traffic. Nick V had an issue on the freeway, though. So
I had a little blowout.
flat tire.
Flat tire.
I saw the tire, man. I was like, what the hell?
The government. It's the government, bro.
They're trying to stop us, man.
They're trying to stop Roadium Radio. Yeah, the Baka Boyz. So you know what? I usually like to ask my guests, kind of try to break the ice a little bit, more or less breaking the ice for me, because I'm amongst professionals. Okay, and I say that because I've only been doing this for a couple of months. I remember talking to Eric when I saw him not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was telling you that when we started this, I didn't really know what the hell I was doing. And then I remember you told me, neither does anybody else.
No, it's the truth.
So here we are, and I'm thankful that you guys accepted my request to allow me to interview you guys.
Thanks for inviting us, man. It's a pleasure to be here and an honor. You've had some incredible guests here, and there's going to be even more. And we're just one of your guests. It's part of your journey here.
Thank you guys for coming. Now, has there been any good movies you guys been watching lately? Seen anything good?
What was the last good movie I seen? I'm trying to think. Damn, I'm trying to think, because I'm a very harsh movie critic.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I will not tell you it's good unless it blows me away, unless it like hits me emotionally, or the last really good movie I think I seen was Bohemian Rhapsody. When I seen that movie the first time, the next day we were doing a show at Dash. I told Nick, I said, Nick, you got to see this movie. Like, I was telling everybody, it's like, this movie is gonna win awards. It sold me.
Yes.
There was an emotional connection. Not only was I a Queen fan as far as their music goes, because their melodies and everything that they do is incredible, and it's still to this day. But the way they put that movie together, and the way the actor played the role of Freddie Prinze, and the whole thing, it was just done right.
Yes.
From the beginning to the end, and that was probably one of the last movies that I personally really liked a lot.
I haven't been to the movies in a little while. I can't even remember the last one that I went to go see.
Okay.
Been watching stuff on Netflix.
Did you get to watch the Queen movie, the
Oh
Bohemian
yeah,
Rhapsody?
Bohemian
What did you
Rhapsody.
think about it?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
He did a great job, the actor, and they did a great job portraying and telling the story and let everybody know insight on who he was and why he did the things he did.
Okay.
Freddie Mercury.
I would probably say that 2019, that was my favorite movie.
Yeah.
That was my favorite movie. Today, I watched a little bit of Netflix. I wasn't a huge Netflix fan because I thought for a long time they had a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
But they came back with a bunch of good stuff. Like
Yeah.
right now, my favorite one is Dracula. And matter of fact, I recommended it to somebody today.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So there's like 3 series, and it starts from back then to like now. So it's actually pretty good. So if you guys ever have time and you're not playing video games, because I don't really play Madden.
I play a lot of video games. I was actually playing this morning. I got off at like 7 this morning. So I was playing, you know. Then we had to do our syndicated show. So I had to meet Nick at 8:30 this morning. And then I took a little nap before I came here.
Now do you play video games as well?
No, not like I used to, just a little bit. I had an unfortunate accident with my neck, and I was stationary for like 3 months. So
Oh, wow.
I got into video gaming then, and it was Gears of War, and I loved it. And but I haven't really been on since. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm a big time gamer. I just haven't played any games in a long time. But I was telling your brother that I love Madden. That's pretty
Yeah.
much.
Oh, you guys are not
That's it.
playing each other? or
Yeah,
what?
but he's on PS4.
PS4.
He's on PS4. So
The divide.
It's like iPhone and Samsung. You know?
Right.
It's
or
the-
like Star Wars and Star Trek.
yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
So now, where are you guys originally from?
Bakersfield, California. Born and raised out there. You know, we lived there till I think it was 93 when we finally moved to LA. We made the move to LA. We were doing radio. You know, back then our big influence was K-Day, KDAY, 1580 AM K-Day. So we used to listen to K-Day on the rooftop in Bakersfield after like midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 in the morning. We're on the top of a 2-story house with a boom box and our self-made antenna. To get, because you could get AM, it would actually travel to the Bay Area from what I heard. You could hear it on the Golden Gate Bridge. So it was like a huge antenna on the Golden Gate Bridge, so people would, you know, be around the Golden Gate Bridge to pick up K-Day. So listening to that was a huge influence to us as far as what they were doing, the DJ stuff, you know, from Tony G to Julio G to Jammin' Gemini, all the old K-Day mix masters, Egyptian Lover, you know.
Jammin' Gemini.
Yeah, all that stuff. So that was a huge, that really kind of spawned us into wanting to do radio. We wanted to do that, but in Bakersfield, for Bakersfield.
Wow.
And so that's what led us into radio.
Okay. Now, what would you say was the type of music that, as growing up at home, you guys would listen to? As far as what kind of music would your parents play?
Wide range of stuff. Funk, first and foremost. My mom loved reggae music. Our sister loved pop music in the 80s. And that's what it was.
Our brother was big into funk, so Cameo, Confunction, Prince,
Lakeside,
SOS
Band.
One Way, all the good shit, basically.
Right.
And then, you know, we got the pop side from our sister who would listen to Devo, B-52s, Thomas Dolby, the Ramones. I love the Ramones.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Ramones fan. So we kind of got the best of both worlds at that time.
We didn't hear a lot of Mexican music
No.
growing up at all with
No.
our parents.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, at home it was pretty much my mother and my father. All they pretty much played was Mexican music. It would be my father. Every once in a while, he would play like some Chuck Berry, Chubby Checkers, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but now me coming from a big family, it was my brothers that played the Bee Gees, Chicago, Boss Gags, and then my other brother would play all the funk, the Cameo, the Prince. You know, but when I got introduced to Prince, that's when I just like fell in love with like his ass. You know, I was like, oh my God.
Wait, his ass?
His ass?
Well, you know what I mean.
I'm just saying, you gotta be careful what
Tony.
you say, bro.
Tony.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm glad you guys are correcting me. I'm learning,
Yeah,
brother.
you gotta be careful. You gotta be cognizant of this
Yes, sir.
thing.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna let me rewind that back. Okay. So now, growing up as kids out there in Bakersfield, who would you say that you guys saw? You know, I know you guys told me you guys grew up hearing K-Day. Was there anybody that would you say influenced you guys that you guys might have saw to start picking up the turntables?
Well, there was a few DJs actually in Bakersfield that influenced me without me knowing they were influencing me. At all the weddings and quinceañeras and all that stuff that our family was invited to, there was a few DJs that were always there. DJ Jerome was one of them. DJ Flash was one of them. And then later on was DJ Moses A. He was the DJ at our teenage nightclub in Bakersfield at the time in '84. And so when I saw him doing what he was doing, I kind of lost my mind at 11 years old. And I was like, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I want to do.
Wow.
But earlier on, going to these weddings and these quinceañeras, I didn't know that why I was sitting in front of these DJs just watching them and tapping my feet, just watching them, you know. But now, more cognizant of what I was doing as a youngster, I understood now that I was interested in it.
Yeah.
But when I saw Moses A, it was like, wait a minute, this can be a thing.
Well, you got to tell you the story behind this can be a thing, though, because it's always funny when I hear it. So the reason he wanted to become a DJ was not to actually DJ. It was all the stuff that came along with being a DJ, meaning
girls, cigarettes, alcohol, 1,000 kids on the dance floor, high energy music happening. It was just heaven to me. It was like, whoa.
Yes.
I lost it.
Wow. You know what's funny, because one thing that we have in common, I was 11 years old too when I found out, or when I figured out that I wanted to be a DJ. I was 11 years old, saw my brother DJ, and I guess what attracted me is when I saw the way he controlled the crowd, and how he would play certain songs at the right time and the crowd would fucking erupt.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you cannot be, it's almost like he was in the zone, you know, at that moment. And there's only few DJs that I believe that can do that. You know, I know today DJing is different, but back then, what reason why I have a little bit more respect for DJs back then as far as DJ skills is many of them songs were not done with drum machines. They were live drummers, whether it be Ohio Players or whether it be Prince or whatever. So you actually had to ride the record. You know what I'm saying? And good DJs kept the dance floor packed. You know. So around what age would you say that you guys got your first equipment?
Oh, that was when we got when we were at the teen nightclub.
It was '84.
Yeah.
84.
Yeah, he started DJing before me.
Oh, really?
So the story was we had a teen nightclub that my dad and my brother had started. My brother used to party a lot. So in order for him to stay out of trouble, they would allow him to have house parties at our house. So they'd hire a DJ, bring in a bunch of teenagers to come party at the house. So he would be at home, so nothing would happen to him. And eventually they started the teen nightclub, and then they hired Moses A, and he was the house DJ. And then a little later, you know, on Fridays and Saturdays, we'd have to go clean up from the night before or the night after, you know, whatever. And he found out Nick was playing with the equipment. And so he started having conversations with my dad. We're like, hey, your son's messing with the equipment. It's not a toy. It's expensive, blah, blah, blah. Happened about 3 or 4 times, and then, you know, he started finding like ripped up extension cords that he would just like make, because he'd take the power cord away from him, because he had a pigtail where you had to plug it in and twist it, so it was a special cord. But this fool over here splicing no electrical knowledge of anything, just sticking the stuff up there could blow up all his shit, basically.
Right.
And he found out about it. He's like, hey, you can't be doing this.
I was wondering why his turntables were going backwards.
So, you know, he got into it with my dad about it, and he's like, and I guess my dad at that point got fed up with it, and he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy him equipment and he's gonna be the DJ. That was it.
Dope.
And that threw him into becoming the DJ.
Now, what kind of turntables did you have? What kind of mixer?
Bro, come on. The first turntables were a Radio Shack.
Right.
And then I tried to mix on those, and I took them home. Mixer, 2 turntables, they're belt drive. And I was like, no, this is not working.
It's not the same.
And then somebody told us, it was like, you have to get the SL12. You got to get the 1200s.
Yeah.
The Techniques, those are the ones.
Yeah.
And so we're like, where did we get those? Los Angeles. So where did we go? Exodus Records. Exodus Records was our first trip, and we bought turntables, Bose speakers, $300 worth of high energy disco records, 1984 1984. Think about that time and that era and all that music that was popping off of the Euro disco and high energy stuff. DJ 007 just like started picking out records and just boom, take this, boom, take this, boom, take this. And we took all those records down to Bakersfield, and I started becoming a DJ at the teenage nightclub.
Wow. Wow. And soon after that, did you learn from him, or did you guys learn around the same time? Or?
You would think if you ask somebody, not only somebody you know, but your brother to help you.
Okay.
I asked him to help me. I want to learn. He's like, no, I'm not going to teach you. And he was younger. Obviously, he's still younger than me, but he wouldn't teach me. He refused to teach me. So I taught myself. I taught myself how to DJ. I literally taught myself how to DJ. And it wasn't until Sid Perry, another Bakersfield DJ, actually showed us the correct way to mix. Because you can mix on beat,
right,
but there's a way. Like if a record starts on the 1, there's a different timing. So if it starts with a snare, it's like boom, bah, that's the 1.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he was showing, okay, you're mixing right, but it's not on the right beat.
Right.
It's on beat, but it's not in time.
Right.
Per se. So he's the one that taught me that little trick on where to start the records.
And Sid was also the one who brought the tapes from Los Angeles for K-Day in 1986. So fast forward from 84 to 86, Sid Perry started coming around the nightclub, and he was a DJ as well, and he had records that we never heard before in our life. So he turned us on to Ready for the World, Clear R9 and all that stuff we heard on K-Day, but we didn't have the records. Stevie B, Part of Your Body, he was in a record pool. And he had fucking a wall full of records, and he would invite us over to come over, and he would play all these records we never heard in our life. He's like, y'all got to get in a record pool.
Yeah.
So we joined the pros in Oakland.
From Oakland.
That was our first record pool.
That was our first record pool.
You know, I up to this day, I've never joined the record pool. I've never, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's kind of weird that I would ask friends, how do I get in a record pool? And believe it or not, a lot of them wouldn't tell me.
Wow, like me, Eric B. See,
the hater, dude. Like a hater.
There it is there. And they would never tell me. But Steve YANO was my guy. You know, he would just tell me whatever you want. You know, and then I would watch like either BET or MTV or whatever, and I would call him, look, listen to this song. You know, and that's what I would do. Okay, I got two of them. So, but you know what? May he rest in peace. But he is the one that got me everything.
That's
everything.
dope.
And then when, let's just say I didn't want to wait till Saturday or Sunday, I just drive down the street to a VIP Records.
Nice,
you know,
nice.
and that's pretty much where I would get all my records. So now let me ask you a DJ question. Did you learn how to scratch first or blend first?
Blend.
Blend first.
Blend first.
Okay.
Me trying to scratch before I had turntables, when I heard probably Grandmaster Flash in that Furious 5, that Mega Mix or something, or there was some Z Mix or something, and they were scratching on there.
Z-Rock.
Z-Rock.
Yeah.
And I heard that record, and I was like, fuck, how are they doing that? And so on our belt drive at home, we had one turntable. I would take the needle, and I would, on the record, I would go, and it was not the sound, and I fucked up a lot of records, and I'm sure I got in trouble for it. It's like, what happened to these records?
Right.
But that was me trying to scratch.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, at my house, we had a cassette player, so I would play it. And my brother would always call it blend. You know, make sure you learn how to blend first.
Yeah.
So he would play a record, and then I would write it at the same time. Nice. And he would tell me, it's going slow. It's going, speed it up, speed it up. So he taught me how to write it.
That's
okay.
Awesome.
So that's how I started with that. And then scratching was when I heard Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel.
Yep.
And I remember, it's a and then and then good. So I learned emulating that.
Yeah.
And then I told the story when Calvin Anderson was here, the owner of VIP Records. The first DJ that I ever saw scratch live in person was his brother, a guy named King Tim. Very, very good, dope, cutting. He was real clean. And then the third person that I saw in person was Joe Cooley. I was about 15 years old.
Damn.
And that guy, I'm going to be very careful.
Crazy.
Yes. He
Joe
rocked my
Cooley's
world
dope.
in
Man.
the DJ sense.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You can't just say Joe Coley rocked my world. You can't just say that.
Yes. So now let me ask you guys, did you guys ever mobile DJ?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did that after the nightclub. We had some problems with the landlord or whatever. They wanted to take it back from us. There was some legal battle. We ended up having to move out of there. But in between that and the next place that opened, we were doing mobile gigs. So we would throw parties, we would throw events. So we we promoted concerts. We had like Cypress Hill, we had Stevie B, we had Egyptian Lover, the Dream Team, Connie,
Whistle,
Flock of Seagulls,
Dougie Fresh, maybe.
Trans-X.
Yeah.
So we would hire people, Expose. You know, we would throw all these events in Bakersfield. Our family would, and so we were mobile.
Yeah, I want to give props to my mom because even when the club ended and there was no stable place for us to be, she would hustle and rent out the Harvest Hall at the Kern County Fairgrounds, or the Boys Club, the Boys and Girls Club on 19th Street in Bakersfield, or even the Winery in Delano.
Yeah.
We would rent out these halls and we would, you know, create parties, and we would ditch school and go pass out flyers in the area that we were doing the party.
That's so dope, man. That's so dope. You know, you take me back when you say pass out flyers, because today I'll just post it on social media.
Yeah.
You know, and when back then you were like, yeah, we're gonna go
Hand to hand.
Now, I was asking your brother earlier. Did you guys, when you guys would go DJ, whether it be at a hall, a wedding, a quinceañera, a regular backyard party, did you guys ever get into any hostility? Anybody's like, hey, fool, you gotta play that fucking song,
Bro,
you know?
Man, I have one bad story.
I told you.
One bad story, bro. The fucking, I wanted the Okie off of Cottonwood, bro, in Bakersfield. That was the name of the hood. And I used to play wherever I could play. I didn't care where it was. If I had a gig, $60, $100, whatever. I had speakers, I had turntables. Eric V would never go with me.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. It's still the same. So I got this one gig, last minute gig, birthday party in Okie. And I'm like, cool, no problem. 1991, La Raza just came out.
Okay.
Big, awesome, huge record for La Raza and just in general for hip hop. So I played it. Obviously, it's a big record. Everybody gigging, played it again, gigging, loving it, right? Keep on going, keep on playing. And this one guy comes up to me and says, hey, bro, play La Raza again. I'm like, cool, I just played it twice. Give me some time. He comes back and he comes closer to me. He's like, bro, play La Raza again. And he fucking sticks a gun in my side right there. I'm like, okay, I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
Boom, 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 boom. Bro. And I got dropped off because, you know, I didn't have a car. I was just a kid, 16 maybe, in the hood, just trying to make some money. I got dropped. I had a guy pick me up with turntables and speakers, drop me off, and then come back later and pick me up. So I was by myself. So yeah, there was one thing right there.
I shared this story on another interview that I did. I think my worst one, I won't mention the city because I don't want those guys getting mad. But
damn it, I just fucked up, huh?
No, all good. All good, brother. So let's just say it's off the 22 freeway.
No more needs to be said.
And I want to say it was 1988, and one guy just got out of jail for like doing 20 years. There's a veterano dude, and it was so weird because I saw nothing but dudes there. So I'm thinking, okay, are we going to DJ for like dudes there?
Yeah.
And my boy had big serving vehicles. He had probably had one of the biggest mobile DJ sound systems ever. His name was Derek, may he rest in peace. He had groups called Split Image. So he would always take me to go DJ for him. Yeah. Like he was the only DJ that ever had a beat counter.
BPM counter.
Yeah, dude, but he was so good at that. But obviously, if you take that away, you know, he didn't know what the fuck to do. So what happened was, we go and he goes, hey, we're getting paid $500. And he used to charge a lot back then. So this guy comes up to me, big ass fucking arms, Mexican dude. And there's nothing but dudes there. And he goes, hey man, he goes, play War. And I was like, War? I was like, dude, I got everybody dancing. I think I was playing Rumors, was out at the time. He goes, play War or Else. And I was like,
I don't know that song.
Yeah.
War or Else. You guys know the song
Yeah,
Or Else?
Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool, bro. So I'm like thinking, I told my boy Derek, hey man, these motherfuckers are crazy, bro. Yeah. I said, you want me to play War? He goes, fuck it, play it. He goes, do me a favor. He goes, just when you play it, announce it and tell them it's on him.
Right.
You know, so they don't get mad.
Whoa.
So I said, all right. So I grabbed the fucking mic. I said, what's your name? They call me Toker.
Straight up.
And I was like, hey, this is a Toker special request and blah, blah, blah. And I played it. Okay, I played Don't Let No One Get You Down. You know, it starts off with the...
Yeah.
So it was quiet for a long time. Then my boy Derek goes, here's what we do. I already got paid. Blast that shit. He said, as soon as the drums kick in, he goes, and then they'll start dancing. Okay, cool. When they started dancing, it was dude on dude dancing together. Okay.
Whoa.
And I was like, okay, wrong kind of party. But I just turned that motherfucker up even a little bit louder, and they were loving it. The cops came, and that's why we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when the cops came in, he goes, hey, that's it, turn it off. And I go, do me a favor, please stay here until we pack up our shit.
Yeah.
Like, well, this guy right here pulled a gun out on me. I just fucking lied. But that's how we were.
So every time you hear that song, you're like, turn it down, turn it way down, skip that shit.
Memories of Toker.
Yeah, this guy was,
Tony and Toker?
it's starting to get good.
Damn, I think your story beat my story, Holmes.
Only one time, dude, you know, and believe me, I don't say this braggingly. I do not. I say it shamefully. Only one time I had to pull a gun out on the dude, man. We used to put a 9mm on the left side of the turntable. And this one dude was doing what he did to you. He pretty much, hey, man, play this fucking... I think he wanted to hear, like, Lime, you know, the disco shit. And I was like, dude, I can't play it right now. Just hold on. And he came back. And this motherfucker came back. I said, play it. And I said, hold on. And he fucking spit in my face.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah, dude. And I just said, you know what? Fuck this. And I lifted up, pulled the gun out of the motherfucker. Good thing is that my boy took the clip out. So the clip wasn't in there.
Right,
it was on the other turn.
That's all you needed to see is the gun.
Yeah, dude. But that was one of the worst times. After that, I was like, you know, I need to slow down on this shit.
Yeah.
Bro. Damn, so Lime and War.
And War.
Damn.
Yes. I think the Lime song was You're My Magician.
Oh, shit. That's a deep cut.
Yeah, it is. It is. And me being the wizard. Yeah. So now, you know what? Before the name Baker Boys, did you guys have your own separate DJ names?
Yeah, we had a few.
Yeah, we had a couple. What was yours?
I'm DJ Slick.
Yeah, I was Sly, and then Sydney was Wicked.
So Sly, Slick, and Wicked.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
dope.
was back in the day. And then we also went to ENV Productions, which is Eric and Nick Vidal.
Okay.
And then Baka Boyz came from ALT, MC ALT, who was hooked up with Tony G through Kid Frost.
Okay.
He wrote a lot of songs for a lot of people. And we would stay, when we were in Bakersfield, we'd travel to LA to come out here to produce. We would stay at his crib. And so when we walked into his house one day, they're drinking at their table,
Playing
whatever,
cards, listening to
cards.
Ghetto Boys.
And you know, every time he would call our house in Bakersfield, you know, our mom would be like, "Oh, the boys ain't here. The boys, blah blah." It was always the boys. So when we went to his house, he's like, we walked in. He's like, "Hey guys, it's the Baka Boyz," and that was it. And we just looked at each other. I was like, "Okay, we're gonna take that name."
Well, he said Baker Boys.
Yeah, it was Baker.
It was Baker Boys first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the original thing. After EMV Productions was Baker Boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how soon you guys started? Let me ask this question. You guys were DJing, throwing parties, throwing events. What led to the radio personalities that you guys are now today? Like, what made you say, you know, let's go talk to this radio station? How did that come about?
Well, during the time of our teenage nightclub, my father used to buy commercial time on an AM radio station, 13K. So he had relationships with the sales manager and with the owner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alex Klein and Kevin
Rush.
Kevin Rush was a sales guy. So at that time, they had already switched formats to rock and roll. It was classic rock.
Classic rock.
It was 1988. It was classic rock radio, and my father used his relationships to walk us into the station and say, "Hey, my boys want to be on the radio. They want to do a mix show." And Alex said, "If we sell the commercial time for Friday and Saturday nights, you guys can have those time slots from 7 to midnight.
Yeah.
5 hours, Friday and Saturday night."
We had to pay to be on the air.
We had to pay to be on the air.
So we had to pay to be on the air. So I had already quit high school at that point.
Really?
I was in 11th grade, and I was like, I'm not going back to this. There's nothing. I'm not learning anything from this. I'm not getting anything. I already know what I want to do. I was already set on my path as far as DJing and wanting to do production or whatever. So I was like, you're not going to teach me any of that. So I'm just going to stay doing this. And so while Nick was at school, I'd be out trying to hustle, trying to sell advertising to random ass places I thought would make sense. A stereo car shop, rim shop.
But Dad had a relationship at Budweiser.
Yeah.
Joe Cornejo.
Yeah, so he had a relationship at Budweiser, and he's like, well, I could buy time, but I can't promote alcohol. But we have New York Seltzer. So they would give us like $500 a month to just help us pay for our time to be on the air. Because it was $75 a week to be on the air over there in Bakersfield. So we started a show on Friday and Saturday called Club Play. And that's what it was. We would mix for 5 hours. We'd have to take all our records. This is before, obviously, Serato. So our records, turntables, mixer, everything we had to set
And
up.
this is live.
All live. And so we were on Friday and Saturday from 7 to midnight. And
For the summer of '88.
for the summer, and it started affecting the regular FM radio stations there. Meaning, in Bakersfield, there's a strip called Chester Avenue where everybody cruised. All the stations were listening to us on Friday and Saturday night. So everybody was listening.
All the cars.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, all the cars were listening to us on the weekends because we were playing. I mean, we were playing
Two Live Crew, Stevie B,
Trenier, Stevie B, Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince, EPMD. The first time I heard EPMD, You Got to Chill was on our show because I got in a fight with Nick and I was driving home and I was listening and he played the EPMD, You Got to Chill. I was like, this shit is dope. What is this? You know?
Did you come back to the station?
Nope. So
This guy.
we used to get into a lot of fights younger when we were younger.
Really?
Yeah.
Ever any?
No. Almost one time. Almost
Okay.
one time. But that, yeah.
You know, it's funny. I have 5 brothers, but I never once like threw blows. You know, when we used to go at each other, we used to pretty much wrestle, get each other in the headlock, and not let each other go, pull each other's hair and stuff. But yeah, but now you know, how long did you guys do that before you guys realized you guys had a fucking fan base, man?
We just did it that summer. After that summer, he flipped the format to country. So it just, I mean, not that it made sense because it was already classic rock, but country to hip hop, it was just it was a stretch.
Wow.
So he switched the format, and so we were kind of out of a situation there. But yeah.
Now let me ask you guys a DJ question. When it came to scratching, would you say that you guys were naturals, or did you guys eventually just get good at it?
I was never good at scratching. That wasn't one of my strong points. My strong points was more blending, selection, transitions, fundamentals. You know, really fundamental, being very clean. That was something that I always, still to this day, it's like, you know, we do a syndicated show that's been running 20 years. And I'll listen to every transition and make sure they're right. If they're not right, I'll nudge it, fix it, whatever I got to do to make it right. Because literally, we're taking a local DJ's job. And you have to be cognizant of that you're actually taking somebody's job. So you have to make sure that you are, you know, on point with your shit.
Yeah, right.
You know, and I've even got on him a couple of times. If I hear something, if I hear a mix that he did, hey man, you need to fix this.
Wow.
You know, and vice versa. We're honest enough with each other to check each other on things.
Right. You know, a lot of people, when they would see me scratch back in the day, they always thought, "Oh, you're so dope." But I'll be honest with everybody. I said, dude, it took me a long time to get good, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think I was one of those guys that picked up a needle and then I was just a natural.
I don't think anybody is. You have to work at it, man.
Yeah.
Because it's not natural. You know, I remember being in high school, you know, and all I was doing was just like air scratching with my hands, always constantly just moving my hands because it was like that was my lifestyle.
Right.
So, and then having scratch sessions and sessions with Chalk, Mr. Chalk, and C Minus, and my brother Eric. I mean, we would just pile up in a room and just
for hours
and just go back and forth, scratch, practice, speed it up to 45, see how fast we can go.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we go play Street Fighter at 7-Eleven afterwards, eat nachos and play Street Fighter.
So you know, it's funny when you said that everything's got to be on point, every mix, possibly every scratch, every transition. You know, when I still look back, I think it was like 1988. I did a mixtape for Steve, and I mixed stylistics on top of Biz Markie, Mint the Music with Your Mouth Biz. Mm-hmm. And then I remember when I was writing it, Steve tells me in his voice, "Hey man, that sounds kind of fucking off." That's what he tells me. And I was like, it's not off. Yeah. You know? And believe it or not, I was just so tired that day of mixing that I was just like, it's good. Just turn up the bass on, make the music with your mouth, and it'll cover it. Yeah. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be 52 years old, and that shit still irks me because I never corrected it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, you hold on to way too much.
I know.
We got to get you some therapy, Helms.
Yes.
You got to align your chakras. Got to get you some meditation. Where's the incense at, man? Right here.
I'll go get them on commercial break.
All right.
As a matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and press pause right there. We're going to take a 10-minute break. We're going to come back. I'll probably go get me a Modelo.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Okay, everybody. Once again, everybody, call somebody, text somebody, page somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that the Baka Boyz are in the motherfucking building. We'll be back in 10 minutes. So go get yourself a Modelo. Wash your hands. Wash that ass. Don't be buying up all the damn toilet paper, okay? 10 minutes. We'll be back. Baka Boyz are in the building.
Hey Tony, drop that. What bass? I bet.
My name is the Croft, the C-R-A-W-F-O-R-D, the poet high C. Tony A. the Wizard, just as cool as a visit. Picking out his tongue, stabbing pussy like a lizard. Oops, I'm sorry, homie, I didn't mean to say that. Steve is in the house, come on, won't you play that funky dope beat? You know you gotta throw me some Stanley's ass Croft, coming straight from the Rhodium.
You are now about to witness
Tony A. Get the funky.
Tell them where you from. You don't think I'm living, well, fuck you. Who knows Saturday night in LA? Yo, feeling kinda funky. Stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to. What the hell are you looking for? Can a young man make money anymore? Wear my jeans and like freaking on the floor? Or is it my job to make sure I'm poor? Disruption, disorderable, nourish, not justify. Those that live at the FBI, look at mama's baby.
Do what it do, it's Mr. Little One chilling on Roadium Radio with the one and only Tony A and John motherfucking Elkins, boy.
Hey, what up? It's your boy Mr. Shadow. You're watching Roadium Radio with my homeboy Tony A the Wizard. You know what time it is.
Yeah, what up? This is Mr. Night Owl, and you're listening to Roadium Radio with the legendary Tony A the motherfucking Wizard.
Yo, what's cracking? Nosotros somos Aquid y estamos aquí con Tony A the Wizard. You know Rhodium Radio, damn it. You know what it is.
Yo, what up? This is Mellow Man Ace and Padrino, and you tuned in to Roadium Radio with my man Tony A. Keep it locked.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy OG Arabian Prince from the world's most dangerous group, NWA. Sitting here with my boy Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
What's up? This is Esther Dazzle, Spanish Fly, Harbor Area's finest. Tune in to Tony A on Roadium Radio.
What's up, everybody? It's your homegirl Magic Girl, and you are now listening to Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
Yo, what's up? This is Bozo, aka Emiliano. You tune into Roadium Radio on Tony Vision's YouTube channel. Let's get it.
What up, it's Mr. Soto. You guys are now in tune to Roadium Radio right here on Tony Vision on YouTube. Yep.
Check it out. This is MC Poncho on the MIC. Shout out to Tony A the Wizard, Roadium Radio. You already know.
What up, this is DJ Trick, Spanish Fly, and you're watching Tony A on the Roadium Radio Show.
Big G, Roadium Radio, Tony A in full effect. Stay tuned, watch, listen. That's how we doing it over here.
Yo, what up? I'm out here. It's Big Daddy Swoles. I'm jamming with my man, Tony A the Wizard, out here on Roadium Radio. The podcast is off the hook. Check us out.
This is DJ Clientele, and you are listening to Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
Yeah, this Baby Bounce here with Tony A the Wizard. You are now tuned in to the Roadium Radio. We do it for the people. You hear me?
Mic check. Ernie G from Proper Dos, and I'm listening to Tony A the motherfucking Wizard on Roadium Radio. And if you don't know, you should know.
What's up, everybody? This is Soren Baker. I'm the author of the book, The History of Gangster Rap, in stores now worldwide. And you're listening to Roadium Radio, hosted by Tony A. Make sure to check it out. We talk about the Roadium mixtapes. We're here. Soren Baker, Roadium Radio.
Y'all, this is Rudy Gregg, and I'm chilling with Tony the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
Yo, this is Daniel Jones, the D to the motherfucking G Media Clips. Here with your boy, Tony A the Wizard on the Roadium Radio Show.
Hey, this is Swifty Blue. I'm right here at Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard. Stay tuned.
It's the KAS here live on Roadium Radio with the one and only Tony A the Wizard.
What up, y'all? This is Kiki Smooth, the first Mexican rapper out of Compton, rich and ruthless, and you're listening to the Roadium Radio with Tony A the Grand Wizard, El Mago himself. Hey, Compton's in the house.
What's up? It's Quete Yes God with my Harbor out of y'all homeboy Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio. Yes God.
Hey, what's up, gente? It's your homeboy Duende.
You're tuned into Rhodium Radio with my homeboy Tony A. the Wizard. Ya te la sabes, wey.
What up, what up? It's your boy Baldachi the Beast, Afro Music, Face of LA, right here at Rhodium Radio. Make sure y'all tune in. Your boy Tony A. the Wizard. Brah.
What's up? This is DJ Dominator, and you're listening to Tony A on Roadium Radio.
This is Kelvin Anderson, owner of the world famous VIP Records, and you listen to my man Tony A, the Wizard, on Roadium Radio.
Yeah, what up? It's Lil Black, the Brown Super Baller, and you checking out Roadium Radio with the homeboy Tony A, the Wizard.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy OG Big Wicked, Real Ones Apparel, Orange County. I here with my boy Tony A, the Wizard, Rhodium Radio. Yo, make sure to peep it. Peace.
Que tranza raza, aquí su servidor, Sinful and Pecador, and you listening to Roadium Radio with my boy Tony A, the Wizard.
Check, what's up? It's your boy Capital I Man from the Mexican Crew, and you're tuning into Rhodium Radio with my boy Tony A, the Wizard. Motherfucker's a legend. Bow!
What's up, y'all? This is Chris the Glove, and you're watching the Roadium Radio Show on Tony Vision on YouTube.
What's up? This is Mr. D on Roadium Radio, kicking back with the homeboy, Tony A.
Yo, what's up? This is John motherfucking Elkins, and you're tuning into Roadium Radio with my homeboy, DJ Tony A, the Wizard.
What up, West Coast and all hip-hop fans? This is your girl, Violet Brown, and I'm here with Tony A, the Wizard. And if you're rolling with us right now, that means that you love West Coast hip-hop. And if you want to know the real deal from the real players, the real people behind the scenes, you better pick up Tony's new film, Roadium MIXTAPE DOCUMIXERY. You get it by going to DOCUMIXERY.com. You better get this, and I want to do a special shout out and a rest in peace to my man Steve YANO. I'm out.
Tear shit up. AOT, you got a level? Steve, hit record, man.
Get busy, easy, and Tony A on the 12 technique, see? Here's a little something by a nigga like me. They never should have been trying to take from me. Yo, this is your main man, you don't like Tony A, well, fuck. I'm rocking shit at the Rhodium.
Lonzo, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You sure?
Motherfucker, I'm ready, goddamn!
Like it ain't shit, cause I'm a player motherfucker named DJ Quick. It's a full-time jack move. Chili kill yo, homie, make the track move. Freestyle, me and mama keep the big changes. Sweat dripping, girlies in the middle with your chill. Walked in the house, got shot. 1,
These right here are the Ultimate Breaks and Beats. These were introduced to the West Coast by Steve YANO. They came from the East Coast to the West Coast, and they were sold only at the Rhodium. You can still see the Rhodium sticker there. And these are called, once again, the Ultimate Breaks and Beats. If you're a DJ or a producer, you better know what these are. If not, don't call yourself a DJ or a producer. Me and High C right here, we know about these. Back in the day, I would have doubles of everything. Here's a quick story. When Ice Cube left NWA, he came over to my pad, and I was playing some beats for him. Before he left to New York to do his album, America's Most Wanted, he actually asked me if he can borrow a set of my Ultimate Breaks and Beats. I let him borrow it, never saw the dude again, man. I guess that's what he meant by Jacket for Beats. But you know what? Much love to Ice Cube. He helped put not only Compton, South Central, but West Coast on the map. So much love to him. But once again, these are the records that Steve introduced to the West Coast. You don't believe me? Ask Dr. Dre. Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 43, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. But you know what? I'm not going to bullshit, so let me just go ahead and jump right back into it. I have the Baka Boyz in the building. Thank you guys once again for coming. I truly appreciate you guys being here and allowing me, not only do I consider you guys friends, but also a fan of the body of work that you guys have done. Thank you. I know that you guys, not only DJs, radio personalities, also producers. Now, how soon after DJing did you guys started to dabble in production, and who was first?
Back in Bakersfield, like I said, when we lost our gig at that AM radio station, I went to try to get on the FM station. They denied us. They were like, no, because back in the day, their mind frame was like, did you go to broadcast school?
Yes.
Do you have a license? All this stuff, and we were self-taught. We've always been self-taught, pretty much for mostly everything we've learned. And they denied it, and I got this idea in my mind of producing music. Like, okay, they don't want us on the radio, so we're gonna make music, so they have to play us on the radio. So that was the mind frame. So I worked a summer in Bakersfield with my dad in construction, and I freaking hated it. But I hated it. I quickly learned I do not want, I'm not an outdoor cat.
Soft hands.
Yeah, yeah. I like to be indoor. I don't want to be in the heat. I don't want to be like stressing and, so I saved enough money. I worked that summer to save enough money to buy our first SP1200.
Wow.
And so with the SP1200 allowed us to start producing. Take it on.
Oh, I love the SP1200, by the way.
Yeah, still. Forever. So we started producing music, and it took us a little while to figure it out through the help of Tony G, who was the one who initially inspired us to buy the SP1200. He said, you guys start, I think we bought an Alesis drum machine first.
Yeah.
We bought a W30 it was like, no, you got to get an SP1200. We wound up getting that. We made a bunch of beats, and we took a trip up to El Monte to go see Tony G at Spin. What was his name of his
Damn, I can't remember the name of the record store. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, so we had a record store, and we took our SP1200 up there, and we plugged it in, and we started playing some beats. He's like, you guys got a couple things here. I'm working with this guy named Kid Frost. He just got signed to Virgin Records, and if I might be able to get you guys a track. So we turned in one of the tracks. He liked it. He introduced us to Tootie. We made Straight to the Bank, straight to the bank,
Hispanic Causing Panic, and
Hold Your Own.
We did 3 tracks on Frost's first album.
Wow.
So Tony really opened the door for us for that production. We were working with a local rapper in Bakersfield, and here's the thing we kind of went through younger as producers. Like, you have a beat, but you give it to somebody, and then somebody else wants it. So we came into that point where we were working with this guy, and he was like, he had did something over this record, Straight to the Bank, that we ended up doing with Frost, and was like, well, he's got a deal, and he's going to put it out on a major record. We got to take it to him. We got to give it to him. But we told him as well, that was happening. And shortly after that, we started working with, we did a song with Mellow Mayonnaise. That opened all the doors to all the Latin rappers. So ALT, we actually helped ALT get a record deal. Wow. He got a record deal through East West Records. And he wrote a lot of stuff for Frost and a lot of the other rappers from Mellow and all that whole camp. Okay. And then that led us to, the first time we heard like Cypress Hill. We were outside of Mellow's house, and they were playing, and we were like, what the fuck is that? Like, we just heard it, just blew our mind.
Yeah.
When we took it back to Bakersfield, and there were people like, this is trash, this is trash, this is okay. 2 months later, that shit's all over MTV Raps, all over everything, blowing up like crazy. So we've had an ear for music for a very long time. You know, Nick's very passionate about a lot of artists, and if he believes in it, he's gonna hammer it away till that shit breaks.
Okay.
So I trust, I trust his feeling and his gut about that stuff. You know, a lot of people he told me about 3-4 years ago, like Anderson .Paak. He told me about The Weeknd, Jhené Aiko, countless people that he believes in, and he'll sell it.
Wow. Now let me ask you an interesting question. When you guys got the SB1200s, who was the first one to turn it on and start fucking around with it? Or was it both of you guys?
Probably Eric. I mean, he's the one who bought it, So,
okay. So would he ever say, add that little part right there, or do this? The reason why I asked that is because I tried working with another producer, like trying to do a little group.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to be on the fucking drum machine, and he always wanted to be on the drum machine. So it was never like, I was like, okay, dude, you took too much of that. Truncated that shit too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Eric used to do his own beats on his own time, and a lot of those beats wound up on projects.
Okay.
Back from the Dead, that was all Eric V. produced that.
No, that's House of Pain.
House of Pain,
Okay.
House of Pain second album. The one thing that we did collab on was Pistol Grip Punk. And it was because we didn't want to do the beat, number one. It was a simple West Coast beat. They asked us for a West Coast anthem. And we were very into the Cypress Hill sound, the East Coast rap sound, the samples, the eerie shit. And Adrian Miller, he forced me to make a beat for Volume 10. And it was Pistol Grip Pump. So I did as much as I could do. And we were living in Los Angeles at this time. We had just got our publishing deal, so we both had SB1200s, one in his room, one in my room.
Wow.
And I sampled Pay Your Dues, and I made a simple West Coast beat, and I did all I could to it. And then I handed Eric V the disc, and I said, I'm done. I can't do anything else.
Yeah, his was basically, it was just the beat, the
basic beat.
And the
kicks and snares.
That's what he did. So I added the little cameo, that. I added the guitar from
Kool and the Gang.
Yeah, Kool and the Gang. I added that, and I added the stuff in the hook, the
pistol packing.
little pistol packing. That was a Beastie Boys, and then also there was like a little high pitched eerie sound in the hook, and then obviously the bass line. We didn't have keyboard or anything to create a bass line.
We were scared of MIDI.
MIDI scared the shit out of us. So I was like, I started sampling records and just messing with stuff, and I went to Digital Underground, the Humpty Dance. I was like, this bass line's crazy. Let me reverse it. And that was it. And I played it for him, and that finished the record. So I'm good at finishing stuff as far as adding the extra elements. I consider myself like ear candy. I'll hear stuff. He'll even today, he'll play me production. I was like, oh, it needs this. Oh, it needs this. Oh, it needs that. I'm better at finishing than starting and finishing. Well,
you know what? I'm glad that you guys shared about that song, because to me, when it comes to West Coast beats, that has to be the top 5, bro.
Thank you,
man.
I mean, 100. On break, I'm going to show you something that was going on here last night. I had my Kylo Ren mask on.
Oh, shit.
And I was dancing to Pistol Grip.
No way.
Yes.
Need that.
I was jamming to that shit. To me, that's one of my favorite beats right there. Bro.
Nice.
Thank you. When I found out that you guys did it, I was like, what the fuck?
When did you find that out?
I want to say maybe when I got the vinyl.
Oh, okay.
It was back then, obviously. But everybody was bumping that shit. I was like, that motherfucker is hard.
Yeah.
I just didn't know who it was. As a DJ or producer, you right away look for credits.
Right.
So when I was like, what the fuck? It was them?
The Mega Baka Boyz.
Yes, dude. And then I found out, if I'm correct, you guys did Boulevard, if I'm correct?
Yeah.
Boulevard Nights.
Boulevard Nights for
Mellow.
Mellow Ace.
Yeah.
Co-produced with Julio G.
Yeah, I think
Julio
so.
G brought us the sample. Sequence.
Yeah. I love the story that you guys said. You guys came to Tony G and he said, Frost is doing this, because with me, it was a total opposite. I would ask dudes like, hey man, do you guys need any beats or anything? No, we got it. Everywhere I went, no, we got it.
What did that do? That forced you to do your own shit, right?
Yes, it did. And it literally forced me to become a producer because I usually tell people that I was happy just being a DJ. You know, I don't ever really consider myself a real producer. I consider myself more of a mixtape 4-track guy. And if I can do that and put it on the SP1200 and I got a record deal, then I was cool with it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But to try to do like some R&B shit or like some rock shit or whatever, I tried, but I was more comfortable doing a mixtape, doing the DJ stuff like that, you know. But to be able to hear the body of work that you guys have done, especially people that may not know, you guys produced Neighborhood Queen for JB.
Yeah, I actually seen somebody talking about in the chat earlier. It's like they used their own beat for Neighborhood Queen. Yes, we did.
We used the same drums.
We changed a couple of things, but but we used. I mean, if it
formula,
worked, it worked, and there was multiple people after that that took our beat as well, from Mac 10 to
Rage Against the Machine,
who redid Pistol Grip Pump. That was an honor when we found out about that. That was crazy.
And also, there's a fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. I'm fucking up, but they do their step routines in Texas to Pistol Grip Pump. for years. That's like the theme song for them doing their step shows all over the country for this particular fraternity. So shout them out. I fucked up their name, I'm sure, but
well, yeah, I'm sure they'll forgive you, brother. Now, is there? Because I work with artists that paid me, and once I would hear them rap, then their attitude. Was there anybody that you work with that you were like, I don't want to fucking work with that dude anymore, man?
Yeah, I say it, and I've told this to Nick. Nick's tried to get me to work with him for so many years. It was Volume 10. Just because he's difficult. He's extremely difficult, and a lot of artists are. They don't want to listen. They have their own mind frame, and I get it, but I'm trying to tell you what needs to be done to make it right. Pistol Grip Pump was a demo. That actual record that came out was a demo that we did at Power 106 in the production room. The voice of Power 106, Eric Edwards. So we did it on a 1-inch reel, a 16-track 1-inch reel. And we did the vocals there at Power. And he was never able to recreate those vocals when we actually went to the real studio. So we used those vocals, and they just mixed that. Wow. They mixed that 1-inch track that we did.
They linked it up.
But he wouldn't listen. And I was like, I can't work with him. Like, I just can't, just because he's not listening to me. Yeah. Like, he smoked too much weed. He couldn't finish his, like, we had to punch every 2 or 4 bars. It was like punch. I'm like, bro, you need to stop smoking the weed. Like, you need, like, this is your livelihood.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, how,
I know.
So
treat it as such.
Yeah. So, years later, Nick wanted, hey, we don't work fine. I'm not going to do it, bro. I'm not going to frustrate myself because he won't listen.
Yeah. I won't mention this guy's name, but I remember one time I said, dude, you've been hitting the fucking bong the whole fucking day. Yeah. It's time to do your fucking lyrics, bro. Come on, man. And then he got real upset. He goes, who in the fuck's the rapper? That's what he said. And I said,
show me the rapper.
Yeah.
Where is he? You tell me.
Dude. And then I go like, dude, are you going to do it or what? He goes, don't fucking tell me. And I go, let me tell you something, bro. And then it just got hostile. I said, look, lower your motherfucking voice. And then we got in each other's face. He ended up doing his lyrics, but I ended up telling Steve, you know what? Fuck this dude. I'm done. I'm out of here. Do whatever the fuck you want. Just make sure you fucking pay me. Have anybody mix it. I don't give a fuck. Like, I work with a lot of guys like that because they were like, I'm the rapper. Cater to me. I'll come whenever the fuck I want. Bro. I'll get high or drunk as much as I want. Yeah. And I'll bring my whole entourage if I want.
Yep.
And I was just like, I can't do it no more. So now, my next question for you guys was this. Now, you guys are in Bakersfield. How did that happen to get hired at Power 106?
Nick V, you take this, please.
Okay, so we're in Los Angeles. We're in the studio with probably Yo-Yo or somebody like that. We're working on her album, and our studio session gets canceled. 2 boys, we don't live in Los Angeles. What the fuck are we going to do? So we started making phone calls to our record label folks and trying to see if we can go hang out. That's what we used to do. We used to just bombard record labels and just hang out and say, hey, can we hang out for a little bit? So one of the guys, Bruce Reiner from Profile Records, picks up our phone call and says, come on over. So we go hang out with him on Sunset, Profile Records, and we're there like 5 o'clock, and he gets off around 5 o'clock. And he's like, hey, you want to go to dinner with us? Sure. Who's us? We don't know. So he's like, all right, let's go. We get into our van. We had a Chrysler minivan, blue, with a booming sound system. Grandma loved it. And we go to pick up one of his friends. It happens to be Harold Austin, who is the brand new assistant music director for The Beat here in Los Angeles. And then we're going to meet his other friend at a restaurant on Melrose. So we get to the restaurant, and Harold Dawson, Bruce Reiner, and Baka Boyz, and then Morales from Power 106 shows up.
Okay.
So we're at Antonio's on Melrose. We're singing, we're drinking. I'm drinking. Everybody doesn't drink.
Yeah.
And we're singing La Bamba, having the time of our lives. We have Power 106, and we have The Beat. Harold Austin.
Two biggest stations in LA.
Two biggest stations in LA, and we're having a great time. And I slammed my drink on the table, or my hand, and I was like, "Hey, Morales, by this time next year, we're going to be working at Power 106." And everybody started laughing.
Everybody started
like,
rolling.
"What the you crazy motherfucker, you drunk bastard!"
Wow. Yeah,
right. So we finish, we pay, and Morales. We walk outside, and there was a homeless guy on the street. I'm ashamed of this, but he was asking for food, and we were asking him for something. I was drunk. I was like, "Hey, do you have anything like this?" And Morales was like, "You guys are fucking crazy, man. We're starting a hip hop show on Friday nights on Power 106. You guys would be perfect for that. Can you give me a demo?" And we're like, "You're out of here, crazy, whatever." So
we put the demo together. A couple weeks later, he called us. We were at the Gavin in San Francisco. They used to have a big conference.
What year was that? 92?
92. Had to be
I was
90,
there.
had to be 92 or so.
Yeah.
We have a picture with LL Cool J from that way back in the day. And so we give him the demo. I left it in his room. He invited us to his room, so I gave him the cassette and left it with him. And
he was drunk.
We don't even know if
he was passed out.
Yeah, I didn't even know if he had it or he just threw it away or whatever. So a couple weeks later after that, he calls us up on like a Tuesday. He's like, "Hey man, Rick wants to meet with you guys, the program director." I guess he gave him the demo. And so we went up to LA, or came up to LA on a Wednesday, and we were sitting down with Rick, and he's like, "I listened to the demo. A couple things, you guys kind of talk a little fast and blah blah blah." That's always Nick, because he's talking fast all the time. So he's like, "If you can slow that down a little bit, blah blah blah." Starts giving us all this direction, and he's like, we got a show. We want to start this Friday night show at midnight. We don't have a name for it. We don't know anything. Are you guys interested?" He's like, "I don't know what it is. I'm listening to the cassette, but there's something there. My gut is telling me, my instinct is telling me I need to do this." And so he's like, "Can you guys do this show?" I was like, yeah, we can do it. When do you want us to start? He's like, "Friday, 2 days."
Wow.
So I was like, "Okay, well, where's your mix room? Talk about. You got to turn in your mixes on reel to reel." I was like, "Oh no, we don't do reel to reel. We do live." He's like, "Well, what if it skips?" It's a skips. It's not the end of the world. It's not gonna kill you. You know what I mean? So he's like, "Okay, cool. And you want to do it live? You do it live," because all the mixers there were pre-taped. Everybody recorded their mixes.
Right.
And so we went into what they called the newsroom, which was basically where they did the traffic news stories for the morning show and all that stuff. It was a room with a bunch of reel-to-reels and one mic and a small little board, and was like, "Okay, so we're going to convert this into a mix room. We need this space over here." So we told he set us up with the engineer Tom Koza, and he's like, "What do you need?" I said, "We need some RCA's, quarter-inch out, RCA, blah blah blah, to hook up our stuff." So he set it up. He rigged it, set it up, and so after that meeting, we went back to Bakersfield, and basically he gave us a bunch of
Wild Tracks
from New York, who's their Hot 97, which was their sister station.
Okay.
And so he gave us a bunch of just random, "Hey, it's Hip Hop Friday night, hip hop in LA, blah, blah, blah," whatever. So we produced these intros from basically nothing. And
on the SB 1200.
Yeah, it was all SB 1200. So all the production, all the intros that we did, the Baka Boyz intros, Baka Boyz, in the morning, that was all SB 1200. Wow. All those intros came from that. And so, we came back, we set up our turntables, brought our records every Friday night. And we started that Friday Night Flavors, which actually the name came from a listener who called up. And we were asking for names. And
there was a contest. Def Jam ran a contest, and we were going to give away a Def Jam jacket. So anybody that can call in and leave a voicemail of what they think the hip hop show should be called on Friday nights. and one of the guys called up and he's like, hip hop, no, what do you say? Flavor Fridays?
Flavor Fridays.
Flavor Fridays. And we're like, yo, that's dope. Let's call it Friday Night Flavors.
Yeah.
Dope. So now, when you said you guys turned in your demo, what would that demo consist of?
Well, we were on the radio in Bakersfield at that time. We finally made it onto FM radio in Bakersfield in 1991.
Yeah, shout out to Steve Wall. Steve
Wall gave us our first job in Bakersfield. I was on tour with Lighter Shade of Brown, DJing for them.
Really?
During the Sunday afternoon hype, we brought them down to Bakersfield for a party that we created, that we threw. And they saw me up there DJing. It's like, hey, you're pretty good. You want to come on tour with us? And so we went and did a couple shows and dates with them. We wound up back in Bakersfield at Bakersfield College performing with Lighter Shade of Brown. And there was a new program director in Bakersfield, Steve Wall. He was backstage, and my father, rest in soul, he was backstage and said, hey, those are my sons out there. They're DJs, and they want to be on the radio. And so Steve Wall said hi to Eric backstage.
Yeah, and at that point, I was so like scorned by like thinking we were going to get back on the radio. I was like, whatever.
Fuck it.
I was like, I just, I had already been like beaten horse, just already lost the race type of stuff. And he was like, here's my card, give me a call. I was like, yeah, right, okay, whatever. I was that attitude. And so I finally ended up calling him, and we had a meeting, and we told him what we want to do with the mix show, blah, blah. He gave us a shot. And we had like a 48 share on Saturday nights, blew everybody out of the water.
Wow.
The competition, all the ratings just went up, and so he put us on there. He's like, you guys are doing great here. I want to offer you a different situation.
Full-time job.
Full-time job. He's like, I want you guys to be the music directors, dual music directors. And so we were helping pick the music and all that stuff, and programming and learning that side of the radio game. And then, like, fast forward after that, we got into the production. We were still doing the production back and forth to LA.
He offered us a full-time job to do nights in Bakersfield, and we turned it down.
We said no, because we didn't want it to stop our production as well.
Okay.
Because we'd be committed there every night. We'd have to be on every night. We were like, no. And so that opportunity led to, open that door for Power.
Now, when you guys were on Power, first of all, let me say that I'm blown away by your guys' stories, because I thought I pretty much knew the meat of it, But now, if you can remember, do you remember what year you were DJing for Lighter Shade of Brown?
Yeah, well, 91, 92.
Okay. The reason why I asked is because one of our first shows was with Lighter Shade of Brown. I want to say it was Mesa, Arizona, at a car show.
Yeah.
And they went on, then we went on. So, but I wonder if you were there that day.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we did Utah with them. I know we did Magic Mountain with them. Bakersfield, of course. There was like only 3 or 4 dates that we did with them.
Okay. And it's funny you say the Gavin, because as a matter of fact, I still have my badge.
Yeah.
I'm not a hoarder. I like keeping a bunch
Scandalous.
of shit. Yes. Now you guys are on Friday nights. How soon? Well, how long were you guys Friday nights before you guys made the transition to the morning?
8 months.
8 months?
Yeah.
From the time we walked into the radio station to the time we went on to the morning show, it was 8 months.
Okay. So now, going to the morning show, was there, ¿cómo se dice en español? Or en español, se pusieron nerviosos? Did you guys ever get nervous? Like fuck, this is the big one right here.
No, we didn't know.
We had no idea how big it was.
Okay.
We had no clue. And I think that was an advantage, but a disadvantage at the same time. It was an advantage because we weren't scared. We just figured, okay, we were doing radio in Bakersfield, we're doing radio here. It's the same. We're just doing at a different station.
Right.
The disadvantage is not knowing the business side of what other people doing a morning show in LA are making. From Dee's to Howard Stern to Kevin and Bean, who were all making multi-million dollars. We didn't know that. We're just like, okay, they're just gonna put it in the morning. We'll get a bump in pay, and they took advantage. And we were young, and we didn't have enough. We didn't have the right counsel to help us, navigate that situation.
How old were you guys when you guys went to mornings?
I turned 21 on the morning show. I remember that. So it was before then. So we were probably on the mornings, maybe 2 months before I turned 21, 94.
Wow. So talented, man, because, I have my son who's 20 years old. I have 29, 25, 23, and 20, okay? And when I look at my 20-year-old, I still think he's a baby.
Yeah.
So you guys are still babies in your guys' parents' eyes, and then now you guys are now before. Okay, there was Power 106. Would you say what was the biggest radio station in California? Was it? Some people would say it was KMEL. Some people would say it was Power
California,
106.
Kiss FM always.
I mean, as far as this format you're talking about,
yes,
it was probably between KMEL and Power.
Okay.
I mean, KMEL was definitely groundbreaking. They kind of
led the way.
They were a little more aggressive than the normal radio station for commercial radio.
Okay.
So you would go out there and hear different stuff that you wouldn't hear on other stations. So they took more chances.
Like in 1988, when we were touring with Stevie B, only a couple dates, we drove into San Francisco, and Cameron Paul was playing Boogie Down Productions.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this is 88, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing Boogie Down Productions on the radio, and we just lost our mind.
In the middle of the day.
Wow.
In the middle of the day.
Now the reason why I say it, because I look at my 20-year-old son, and for me to think you're going to be on Power 106, like, damn, like, and then you guys didn't really realize how big it was, I guess, at the time.
We didn't have no idea.
Now, for me, how did you guys come up with that Sanford and Son intro?
That was Nick V.
Well, back in Bakersfield, with Sanford and Son #1, my brother Frank V, that was one of his favorite shows. He watched it all the time. I watched it with him. And in Bakersfield, I had an idea of having a female singing a song over the Sanford and Son song. And I couldn't never find a female to sing it for me, for us. And so I just wrote it myself, and just started singing it ourselves. That was pretty much it.
You know, when I did an interview with you guys at Dash, and you guys did it, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was really, really humbled, and it was an emotional time for me because I would hear it all the time on the radio.
Yeah.
And then to hear it, you guys say it and say my name, it was an emotional time for me, man. It really, really was. And I'm saying I want to thank you guys for pretty much almost like making like a dream come true. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, man.
So much love, much respect to you guys for that.
Thank you.
I told you we should sing the song that day. Nick didn't want to sing it, man.
I always get weird about it because it's like, it's so almost corny, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's
at this age in our lives, but it's like you said,
it's an emotional connection.
Yes, it does.
Means something. So that's why we do it.
Yeah,
that's why we do it.
And that's why I reposted it several times on my Instagram, man. I love it. Now the roll call. When did that start?
Roll call started when we moved. We were doing Friday Night Flavors. Then they put us on overnights for a month to try us out. And he's like, "Okay, I want to put you guys on nights. You're going to be going against this guy named Poor Man. He does this thing called Love Line. He's #1 night show in LA
for years.
Period. You need to find something that can beat him.
Wow.
Come up with a benchmark." So we were talking to our friend Adrian Miller, the same guy who helped us with Pistol Grip Pump, and he was like, this guy in St. Louis used to do this thing. It was like a rap back thing with kids that would call in. Dr. Funkenstein, I think the guy's name was. And so he's like, what's the name of that golden rule? Blah blah blah, or whatever the school. It's like just a quick answer back. Who's that teacher with the golden rule? Mrs. Johnson. Mrs. Johnson. I was like, that's a dope idea, but we're gonna expand on that. And so I was like, let's just use the one for the trouble, two for the time. Everybody knows that. It's the start of the old school rap records.
Right.
So it just went. It was like, okay, we're going to give you 2 bars. We're going to get 2 bars. So we did a demo of it with Charlie Weddle, who was on at Power at the time. Straight white dude. And so we did the demo. It was like Nick wrote the rap for him and everything. And we played it for Rick. And he was like,
this might work.
This might work.
Wow.
And we killed Poor Man. We beat him. We beat him, and Roll Call just went on a whole different thing, and then everybody started copying it everywhere.
Yes.
They took it from us and gave it to Ed and Dre in New York for High 97 because that was a sister station. Nobody ever did it like us. I mean, even though there was somebody else who did it before us, we took that shit to another level.
Yeah.
Still today, people still remember that shit.
Yes.
And that's why I tell people is like, even though we haven't been on the air in LA in so long, they still remember all the shit we did.
Yes.
And that is like amazing.
Absolutely. Now, when did this is Tito? How did that come about? Who met him first, or
Tito was the engineer. He was the building engineer, meaning he would come and make sure everything was correct in all of the offices at Power 106 building. So he would go from floor to floor and make sure the trash was taken out, make sure everything was in line. And he would come in the morning show and talk to us and say, what's up, and pick out the trash. And he was just so much fun. He had good energy. And Eric V said one day, hey, man, let's put him on the radio. I'm like, what? What do you mean? It's like, let's just put him on the radio. That's the kind of freedom that we had at Power 106.
Yeah.
If we felt that something wanted to be done, we just did it. And we didn't have to ask for permission or anything. We just did it. And that's why things were so magical, because it was natural.
Yeah.
We put him on the air, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that just opened up a whole thing, and
he would come in every morning to get our trash. So why not put him on the air?
Yeah, we would talk to him anyway, and he'd always say he was a Raiders fan, and I would say Raiders suck. We'd mess with him. We would mess with Tito, and then when they moved us to afternoons from doing the morning, all the Tito's Top 4, like all the fucked up song titles, I wrote all those for him every day. Really? I would change them. My hood rat's a hoe, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I would give him all the lingo that he didn't know. He didn't know what he was saying. He had no idea what hood rat meant, or my nia, and all these little words.
Size?
Yeah, we did turn him into a monster, dude. And
My
Tito
hood rat
stayed.
is a hoe.
Yeah, and he turned into a monster on his own. Like, we helped build Tito, but
Tito was always Tito.
Yeah, Tito was always Tito. He just had that charisma about him, that energy, and everybody loved him. And in the research, they were like, it was like a grandfather or a grandpa that they knew. They had a family with that heavy accent. So there was a connection there with him. And they still love Tito. If they put us on Baka Boyz and Tito right now, we'd kill this shit again. 100%.
100%.
1,000,000,000%. They have no idea. The energy we create is different than anybody else out there. I don't care who it is.
Yes. Well, you know what? I'm glad you guys are speaking, man. You know what? And I love the energy that you guys bring. And we talked about that when we were at the Pico. You said nobody brings the energy that we bring, and that's the truth. So we're gonna go ahead and take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about what you guys are working on now.
Yep.
What can people expect? Your Dash radio station, and the question everybody wants to know: will you guys be back on Power 106? We'll answer that when we get back.
Awesome.
Okay, everybody. Once again, Roadium Radio, episode 43. I'm your host, Tony the Wizard, and I'm with Baka Boyz. You know what? That one little damn beer got me, man.
Shout out to Toker.
Yes, shout out to Toker. Dude. We'll be back in 10 minutes, you guys.
And we heard about this young kid from the Harbor area named Tony A. And he was a DJ, you know what I'm saying? He was going in with the big stars, you know what I'm saying? And he was like one of us going in and infiltrating inside of all these MCs, you know what I'm saying?
A Rhodium mixtape is just mixed of different types of music, no matter what genre it is. And like I said, it's like making your own musical movie.
When La Raza came out, man, even the amount of sales of the single of La Raza that got moved out of the Rhodium was crazy, bro. And that song just got played and was played in all the stands over there. And I was blessed to go back one time even to see it, and I want to say in 91 or 92.
Although they were not black, they were Oriental, Asian, whatever you want to call them, they were cool. And they embraced everybody, blacks, Latinos, whoever came to the swap meet to want to buy music, they were record people.
Yeah, what up? This is Mr. Night Owl, and I'm chilling right here with John motherfucking Elkins. Beware, motherfuckers, because we coming.
Rhodium mixtape to me was something that was made just for the Rhodium. You wouldn't hear it anywhere else. And they would do raps on those tapes that were nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? And they were truly the first mixtapes that we ever heard, you know? And they would shout the Rhodium out, and you could kind of tell it was like someone's garage, maybe. The little echo, you know what I mean? It wasn't completely perfect and polished yet, but that was the beauty of it, that it was so raw that we could feel that shit. And I would just play them shits and draw. That was my inspiration, my motivation to draw. So I always had to have some type of music, you know? If it wasn't the Dynamic Superiors or the Temporis or some funk playing, it was, you know, second to none. It was quick. It was the Penthouse Players, you know, High C. And Tony G was at that time was like a god too. You know what I'm saying? He was out there DJing Latin freestyle parties, and all the girls had their hairspray like a lion and shit, and hickeys on their neck, and man, pushing strollers, and we'd be like, ooh, look at, you know, these parties at La Casa and shit, you know what I'm saying, in downtown, and mini trucks and beds were folded in the air like transformers and shit in the boulevard, coming up and changing and flipping, and subwoofers beating before the person even hit the corner. You get goosebumps, like, damn. And Elko would bend the corner on Dayton's, and you were like, ooh, that fool's strapped right there. That fool gotta be strapped. Motherfucker had candy ribbons, little Willie ribbons from Compton on the side of his shit. Jerry curl dripping all over his shit. Bent over to the side, bumping that fucking Rhodium shit. And he had a tape that only came from right there. And if you didn't know about that place, or you didn't live in that area, you didn't have that shit. So that's kind of one up that the Harbor area had on a lot of other people. Compton was next door, but that Harbor area was ended in Gardena. You know what I'm saying? So, man, those were great times, man.
A Rhodium mixtape is like a kilo of cocaine. It's like a kilo of Amigo powder. You get that shit, you cut that motherfucker open, and you put it in your motherfucking CD player, and you start listening, and you be like, that's dope, shit, this is dope. How you do that? But really, a Rhodium mixtape, bro, if you haven't experienced it, and you was in hip-hop back then, I don't know what the hell you was doing. You done fucked up. A Rhodium mixtape is like, it's a kilo of cocaine. Music-wise, I'm saying, motherfucker.
Man, that's a little tough, but I'll tell you what, it was the best thing ever for me, man. It was just kind of like something you never heard about. And especially West Coast was not getting that shine at the time, you know? So you would go to this place and they would make a custom tape, like, you know? And not knowing what it was just the sound that came out of those tapes that, if I'm correct, you'd have to, like, I would be feeling for those things if it was monthly, if not sometimes bi-monthly, but a tape, it was just a mixture of the latest songs all mixed together. But the intro had like this crazy mix that I at the time I believed that it was like 4 turntables at the same time, but I was like, how the hell are they doing this? Like, was it Superman behind the turntables or something like that? But a mixtape was a real mixtape. It was actually a cassette too, you know, just for the record.
Ice Cube getting dumb at the Roadium with the funky drum, and you know my man Steve can get some. With a fool like Tony A when he plays stupid dope shit by WA. You wanna spray? Dumb motherfuckers, no doubt. And sucker DJ, get the fuck out. Tony A.
What did you say your name? What did you say?
Tony A.
I have won 1 million battles.
Lights, cameras, action, sound. Give me that mic, I'm about to go down.
Thinking of a master plan.
This story's funny. I met this girl and she had money.
Welcome back, everybody, to Rhodium Radio episode 43, and I'm learning so much on what to say and what not to say.
Especially in front of us.
Yes, so let's just go ahead and jump right back into it, the Baka Boyz.
What up?
You know what? I had a quick question. Somebody asked me, how or why did Proper Dose get fired from Power 106?
I mean, the only thing I'd heard, there was an incident there at Power with some girls, some after hours, some drinking. That's all I heard. That's the only thing I knew. So
there was some condoms found in the lobby. So there was a couch on the lobby, and there were some condoms. I don't know if they were used or new, but it happened during their time slot. That's what I heard that as well. So maybe that's what it was.
That's all I knew.
Wow. Okay, now this is something very interesting. At least that I guess that I've only been doing a couple of shows, or 43 shows now with you guys, but you guys obviously have interviewed tons of people. Was there ever one where it just didn't go anywhere? It's just like maybe the guy felt offended, or the guy was just a bad interviewer, if you will.
There's a couple.
Yeah, well, there is a couple. The one that comes to my mind was we had Mary J. Blige on. Mary J. Blige, she was literally at the top of her game at that time. Biggest R&B artist out there. Obviously, you know, her albums were incredible and stuff like that. So she comes into the studio and we're trying to interview her, and she's like reading the paper, like in the middle of the interview, like reading the newspaper.
She did not want to be there.
And didn't want to be there, and just like giving one-word answers. And Nick was like, "Hey, so are you going to put that paper down so we could talk, or what?" You know what I mean?
Wow, called her on it.
Yeah, called her on it. And it's crazy because like years later when we moved from Power and then we went to San Francisco, it was a totally different person. I don't know what was going on with her at that time, but when we went to San Francisco, it was all love. It was great. Like, she was happy to see us. We had a great interview, a great energy, great time. So it's really like, it really depends on who you bring in there and what their mood is and how they're gonna be on the radio. It helps, you know.
And also you got to be cognitive. Eric V used the word earlier about where we are as far as presenters are concerned. I remember that we're very high energy. We're very like this.
Yeah.
And if they're not, receptive to that, we're very quick to be like, hey, what's going on here? There's a problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially me. I didn't know then, like, slow down, talk to her sweetly. How was your night? Would you like coffee in the morning? You know, those types of things that now as an, older interviewer, I can, do those kind of things to kind of guide and bring my level down to her level. But back at Power 106 in that time, it was like boom, 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 morning show.
Yeah.
Energy.
Well, I can learn from that. And thank you for sharing. Is there anybody for you that stands out that you said that was a dope ass interview? Like,
There's a lot. There's a lot of those, but if it has to be MC Hammer, would probably be the one. He was at his top of his game.
I mean, dude was doing Taco Bell commercials,
Popcorn.
KFC commercials, making the most money. I mean, he was doing everything. And you tell the story of what you told him straight up.
I told him, like, I don't like your music, I don't respect your music, and I don't really want to do this interview, honestly, because I don't think I have anything to ask you. And so he's like, okay, I respect that. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being honest with me. And we had the best interview after that.
Wow.
I don't know if I told him on the air or off the air.
I think you told him off the air, probably.
Maybe, hopefully.
Wow. Okay, now let me share something with you guys about Hammer. After all these years, well, I met him one time. I was with Quick, second to none, AMG, and it was just more of a handshake.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I kind of felt back then the way you felt.
I didn't respect it.
Yeah, I did.
Because we're hip hop kids.
Yes.
We're like Public Enemy, Cypress Hill, hardcore shit, and MC Hammer's doing the oh.
Yes.
And I was just too cool for the room, so to speak. I didn't know that I'm fucking sitting in front of this guy that has helped hip hop escalate to this level. Take advantage of that.
Yes.
Be respectful of that. But
yes.
I was just too young.
My boy Big Daddy Swoles is sitting behind you guys. He not only is he a friend to Hammer, but he's also like a bodyguard to him.
Tell Hammer we're ready for part 2.
Yeah.
And he took me. Hammer performed at the Microsoft Theater a couple of weeks ago,
okay,
a month ago. So he took me, and we walked in the room. It was just me and him in there. And I told him, I've been in all kinds of dressing rooms where people are, smoking weed, drinking Hennessy, girls are getting laid, But when I walked into that dressing room, I didn't want to leave because I truly felt the positive energy in that room. And I told my boy, I said, you know what? I've never felt that in any other dressing room before.
Yeah.
I just, even from his dancers, it was just so positive. You know, it was so weird. I almost felt like, man, am I in church or something? Like it felt that good. Like it was weird. But and then when I saw him perform, it was awesome. So much love, much respect to MC Hammer. And for you, anybody that stand out to you that you might have interviewed?
There's been a couple for me. Obviously, you know, first of all, I don't get excited interviewing people like most people.
Okay.
We've had, you know, numerous artists. It just doesn't excite me. Just like concerts, I don't get excited for a lot. Period. I mean, the main people I was excited to interview was Marley Marl, who was a producer who basically shaped the whole East Coast rap.
Yes.
You know, from Cool G Rap and Polo, Big Daddy Kane, Juice Crew, all that, Roxanne Shante, like all that was our shit. So interviewing him was dope for us. That was exciting for me. I got fanboy type of stuff.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, obviously. What he's done on the West Coast, all the music he's done and everything he's done for hip hop.
Yes.
James Brown.
Wow.
The Godfather of Soul. I mean, he was amazing. I mean, having him, he invited us to a show in Vegas, you know, gave us ticket shows, flew us out and the whole thing.
Wow.
So that guy was great. Barry White, class act, 100% class act. He was just, you know, my mom was a big fan of Barry White. So that dude sent us a basket. He was just, you know, so I'm talking about iconic people who changed the shape of music. Those are people I get excited about.
Quincy Jones.
The people that have done so much for the art form. You know, that's the only people I get excited about. So I get invited to Coachella. I get invited to all these festivals. I'm like, unless James Brown's there, unless this person's there, unless the Beatles are there, don't invite me because I'm not impressed.
Wow. Well, I'm going to confess something, okay? I was excited for this one.
Thank you.
I'm dead serious. You know, it's funny.
You gotta set your standards higher, bro.
When I told people that I was having the Baka Boyz here, here's what they told me. That's big time, bro.
Thank you, man.
I'm dead
Appreciate
serious.
you.
I said, yeah, that's big time. And I was like, I know. You know, so to me, it was like I said, once again, it's a blessing having you guys here. Now, for people that may not know, possibly this new generation, who the Baka Boyz are or what they did, can you guys, and I don't mean it like in a show-off way, can you like name drop some of the rappers that you guys, who may not even be with us anymore, you know, might have passed away or whatever, rappers that you guys have interviewed? Because I know I've seen a picture with you guys with Biggie.
Yeah, Biggie. Yeah, we had Biggie. A friend had called us and said, did he just started a label, Bad Boy Records, through Arista. He's got this new artist called Notorious B.I.G. He wants to interview. You want to bring him up for an interview? We were like, yeah, we were open.
Okay.
You know, we were open. Like if they were doing stuff or making names or making moves. Mr. Chalk called me one night. He's like, I got this cat Eminem. He just won the battle something on the Source or Unsigned Hype or something like that.
Yes.
And white kid from Detroit. We're like, yeah, bring him in. If he's dope, bring him in. We didn't care. We didn't care where you're from, what color you were, what you believed in, what your religious background was. Dope is dope, period.
Yes.
And that's all it was. It was just finding the dopest artists and putting them on the air.
Wu-Tang Clan, obviously.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan. Tupac?
We did not interview Tupac. We did not. We made a mistake with Tupac, and I've said this before. So our friend King M's, who used to work at Interscope Records, this was around the time we did Pistol Grip Pump.
Okay.
So he asked us, and this is going to be blasphemy for everybody, but I'm going to be admitting it. So I wasn't a huge fan of Tupac personally, so he asked for beats for Tupac, and I said, nah, we're good. We're not going to work with him. Nah, we're cool. Like, and that was a mistake of ours. You know, we're taking our personal feeling towards anything. You know, I just his style didn't resonate with me like other people's, and so that was a mistake. You know.
Okay. Well, you know, let me say something. I love Tupac. I love his music. I had an opportunity to meet him. You know when I met him actually in 1992 at the Gavin.
Okay.
That's when I met him. But I will say this in all fairness, that, and I hope people understand what I'm saying, so I'm going to be very careful choosing my words. But during that time, there was a lot of people that didn't like him, that did not like him pretty much as a person. And I share that with my sons, because my sons, see Tupac way up here.
Right.
He's became a Mexican saint to us.
Yeah.
And I get it, and I understand. The guy
Paco.
yes.
Los Pacos. Pacos dos.
Yes. And but there was a lot of people that just didn't like him. So
well, he was a spitfire in every way, shape, or form. And when I guess the media started hounding him and he reacted in the way he did, he kind of scared me off.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared as a young 21, 22-year-old man to interview somebody like him that is spitting in the camera and being very, very vocal. I wouldn't know how to handle that. So I was honestly scared.
Right. And I remember when Alan and Albert, the Hughes brothers, called me and told me, he came back with a bunch of dudes and beat us up on the set.
Whoa.
So I started hearing a lot of that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, well, maybe the dude is a loose cannon. But I understand the reason why people felt the way they felt about him. May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Moving on. So now, I know you guys are producing still.
Yes.
You guys are working on stuff right now. What can people expect from the Baka Boyz today, or as far as music is concerned?
Immediately, I have a new single coming out. We have a new single on our Empire platform, Empire Records. We have a digital distribution deal with them. And I have an artist I've been working with for many, many years. His name is Gifted. I produced a single. It's called Can't Sleep. It's an R&B pop record. And that's going to be happening and dropping on the 30th of this month. And on Spotify comes out tomorrow. So you guys can go and please pre-save it and listen to it. And it's called Can't Sleep by I Am Gifted. And then later on, I have a few other Nick VZ record coming out with a few artists that I've been working with. B-Fly, that's Game's sister.
That's Game's sister?
That's Game's sister.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know, right?
She's
dope
from
as
Compton?
She's dope as hell.
Yeah, she's dope.
Dre Lloyd from the East Coast. I got a track with them together. I have a single with just B-Fly. And we have a Baka Boyz single that we're working on with Problem and Donnie Loke, local cat out of here in Los Angeles. And I'm also pulling a verse from GT Garza out of Texas. So there's a Baka Boyz single coming out this year before the summer as well. And then we have a secret project that is a little more left of center, more on the electronic scene. We formed a group and a production entity called Pony Funk that we released a song in 2014, more on the dance, G-house stuff. So that's another creative outlet for us that we've created, and we did a lot of demos in the past that we're getting ready to release that as well. So a lot of production work going on, as well as submitting tracks for licensing, for television shows, for commercials, cue points in movies, things of that nature as well.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Do any of you guys play any instruments?
Not really. I mean, no, we just play by ear. We can't be like, playing a whole concerto or something like that. No.
Okay. Now, are you guys working together on this, or do you have your own stuff?
We have our own stuff, but we also work together as well. So Nick has a ton of music. He has beats after beats. I don't even know how many. If I don't like it, I throw it away. I throw it away. He keeps everything. I don't do that.
Okay, now let me ask you this. I don't want him to look at me when I ask you this. Do you ever listen to any of his beats and like?
Yeah, I tell him like, this. No, you got to fix this. You got to change this.
And what do you think when you hear that?
They stopped playing him beats.
Yeah, that's what he did.
I stopped playing him beats.
Okay.
As much as I respect his knowledge and his wisdom and his ear, I cannot let him and his perfection stop me from doing me.
Yeah, he don't want to be detoured from that. So
no, because if I played him everything that I did, nothing would ever come out.
I have a question for you about an artist that you mentioned, Problem.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember this person who is big in the music industry from coast to coast said this. Now, this is what this person said. I didn't say it, okay? Problem was on everybody's lips before Quick got a hold of him.
Oh, shit.
Quick produced his record, and nobody ever hears about him anymore.
Yeah. I didn't hear the record.
Yeah, I heard like one or two songs, and I didn't really know what it was. I was like, "Whoa, okay, what is this?" Like, but Since then, I think it was the Rosecrans EP or whatnot.
Okay.
Has he dropped anything since then?
No,
not
he's been
really.
out of the scene for the most part. We got this verse long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, he blessed us up a long time. We got a good relationship with him. We've had things at Cali Kings for him in the past. My brother Frank V, rest in power. And he respects us. And we asked him for a verse, and he's like, "Sure, no problem."
Dope. The reason why I asked that is because this person is very well respected in the game. And when this person told me this, I was like, and I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that's true, I guess, But yeah, because everybody was saying that he's like the next biggest thing. And then when he teamed up with so-and-so,
I mean, unfortunately, in this business, on the radio side and the record side, if people start saying things about you, people just start believing it, whether it's true or not.
Right.
We've gotten the tag of we're difficult to work with. We want too much money. Like, we've been up for gigs in different cities, and they're like, "Oh no, I've heard this about him. I've heard that about him." I'm like, man, make your own decision.
Right.
Like, don't go off what everybody else says. I mean, but it is what it is.
Okay. Now, how many years from the day you guys started to the day you guys left, how many years were you guys there at Power 106?
Well, so
93 to 99. 93, 99.
So 6.5 years.
Okay, 6.5 years. Now, why did you guys leave?
It was a disrespect thing for me.
Okay.
Nick may feel different. It was a disrespect thing, honestly. Like, we had done so much for that station. We had helped build that station to what it is today. Well, not what it is today, because it's not even close to what it could be. We helped create the foundation for Power, period.
Yes.
If Baka Boyz wouldn't have came here to have that opportunity, there would be no Big Boy who found his way through Nick. There would be no Tito who found his way through me. There would be no E-Man who found his way through me. That's pretty much what built that station. Us, Big Boy, Tito, E-Man. Without that, Power would not be what it is.
And nobody can deny that.
They will deny it, but they always feel like there's nobody bigger than the station. And they always try to make you feel like that. Like you need them more than we need you. But it's actually the opposite. You have no talent at a station, you have no ratings. And you have no ratings, you can't sell. If you can't sell, you can't make money. You're losing money.
Yeah.
I know for a fact they're losing money right now. But will they do anything about it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Let them keep losing money.
Yeah, so it was a disrespect thing, but also being younger and not having the right
mindset,
guidance, somebody to deal with business for us.
Yeah.
We made mistakes, but we're not those people we were, and we've tried, especially me, I've tried multiple times to make an effort to rectify what happened there and go back. I've reached out to the people who were in charge before the new company bought it. And, when Big left, I reached out to them and I said, hey, we're here. We're in LA. If you need somebody to hold it down till you figure out what you're going to do, let us know. And they're like, no, we're good. We're going to stay with what we have now. We think they got what it takes. And okay, all right.
See, to me, that's a no-brainer to bring you guys back. Why do you think that they would say, no, we're okay, we're good?
They're mad we left.
Okay.
They're still mad. It's like, okay, you left. Okay, people leave. It happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get over it. Move on. Why would you not put somebody on will help your station, as opposed to your own personal feelings or ill will towards that person because of they left you?
Right.
And that's what it is.
I know you shared a little bit of, they're losing money now. How do you feel about the Power 106 format the way it is right now?
Maybe.
It is what it is. It's just there. There's nothing special going on. We're not doing anything that is better than Spotify, Pandora, YouTube. It's just there.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna go on the record and say this. The last time I listened to Power 106 was when you guys were there. That was it. I don't listen to the radio anymore.
You're not missing anything.
There's nothing to miss.
Yeah.
And that was the thing about, like, even you know, we did our show on Dash. We've been off since October, but we did our show for 8 months there, and we were gaining momentum.
Mhm.
There were people watching us, not only from, you know, within the industry, but, you know, I've heard of them and other radio stations watching what we're doing and even stealing some of the stuff we were doing.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's like they don't want us on there, but they don't want us against them. How you can't have it both ways. It just needs somebody to pull their shit together and say, we're going to put them on, and the magic will happen.
Right.
What we have, they can't recreate. They tried multiple times. They tried multiple times with multiple duos after us.
Mhm.
You know, from the Goodfellas.
No names.
What?
We don't need to say no names.
I'm not throwing them under the bus.
I know.
But they've tried multiple times from different duos. I still put us up against any of them. I don't care.
No, I'm trying to think who, but like you said, you'll put yourself up against anybody. Who would compete? Because here's what some of the fans of Roadium Radio, for what little time we've been on, a couple of months, have said. Power 106 morning show sucks.
Yeah, it does.
That's the number one thing that people are saying. There's a guy that's faithfully on the chat. I'm not gonna say his name.
Toker?
But, no.
You keep setting yourself up, bro.
That's in the past. I
Good
learned.
job, good
You
job.
learned.
That Baka Boyz, he said this in December, and this is why I asked you when I saw you the other night. Baka Boyz will be on Power 106 back in January. January came. Baka Boyz will be, you know.
No, I know who it is.
I know exactly
we know
who it is.
And he tells us the same thing. And you know what? Would it be great for me? Yeah, I would love it. Nick's kind of over the whole radio thing, but this is what we do. This is what we're great at, I think. And like I said, you know, you put us on a major situation like that, it's no, with the knowledge we have now, because back when we did our show, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. I will admit it, 100%. We had no clue how to do a morning show. We had no clue how to, you know, how to format things, how to, you know, get in and out, and like we know that shit now. We've been, you know, it's like it's the back of our hand. We know what the hell's going on.
You know, and that's exactly what I told you when I saw you. I said, I don't know what I'm doing. And I was honest.
Yeah.
You know, I was honest because I look at you guys, whether you guys see yourself as this way, as professionals, as people. If people want to either start up their own radio station or their own podcast, they need to look at the Baka Boyz as a blueprint, as they made it work. You don't necessarily have to be like them, but maybe there's things that they did that could encourage you, inspire you, or motivate you to do you. You know, I've always said this: I don't ever try to be better than anyone. It's always, just want to be different from possibly the Baka Boyz.
Yeah.
Want to be different from Big Boy or whatnot, because that's what makes you unique. You guys were different from everybody, and you guys brought that, and that's why it worked. That's why it fucking blew up, you know. And nobody can deny that. So when I heard, you know, that the way Power was acting toward you guys, I thought, you know, first of all, I don't know them, so I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of chicken shit, you know. Why not just say, hey, listen, okay, look, let's try this out and let's go from here.
We did. We've done it. We've done it enough times, and I've told Eric, that's it. That's it. No more. Let them fucking fail. Let them do what they're going to do, and let us use YouTube, Instagram, all the free access. We have a bigger microphone and a bigger radio signal than they will ever have with all of these other platforms out there. It's going to be hard because we're independent, but look what you guys are doing here. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations to
Thank
everybody here, everybody involved. It takes a lot of work to do what you guys are doing here. Me and Eric, it's just us. We're doing it
this is
on
the
our own.
team. This is everything, you know, on our YouTube channel that we've done. We had to learn how to edit. We had to learn how to make thumbnails. We had to, all the shit that, you know, we've always been like that, though. We've always just figured it out somehow.
And we'll figure this out, too.
You know?
Awesome. Well, hopefully we're all still young enough.
Yeah.
I'm, you know, I'm about to be 52. I'm an old ass man. You can see me walking around with a cane soon. But anyways, other than that, now, besides music, you know, I think you mentioned it. Any movie scores that we can, you know?
Not yet, not Q points, not yet. But we have a lot of poles in the water right now, so we're just waiting for a bite or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know you said you had did a company party or whatnot? You guys?
Oh,
are
yeah.
Are you guys still spinning?
We're DJing here and there. Nick DJs more than me. I don't really look for it too much because you really kind of, there's two things. You got to be out either meeting people, seeing people to get gigs, or you got to have a manager. We don't have either. I don't really care to go out and beg for a gig. I mean, I'll play. You know, I played at a birthday party not too long ago, and they paid me better than somewhere I'd play for freaking 4 hours. You know, so private gigs or whatever, I'm open to do anything like that.
And Eric's gaming a lot.
Yeah.
So follow him, Madden. He does Madden.
Yeah, I've been playing Madden. On Twitch is Pinch Buck Zero, and Pinch Buck Zero is a blitz that you use in the game. So it was like for this year when Madden came out, that was like the blitz everybody was running. So I thought it would be funny just to call my name that. So I changed my name every once in a while, but I'm streaming on that on Twitch.
Well, I'm gonna have to buy me an Xbox because, I'm a PlayStation guy, and right here on the side of my house, I used to have 4 TVs, 4 PlayStations.
Oh, damn!
And the pop would probably be between $800 or $900.
Okay.
Whoa.
And you know what's funny? I always lost the game before the championship or on the championship. I never fucking won my own pot, but I would say I play with the best of them.
Yeah.
But, you know, so one day I'm gonna have to take you up on.
Yeah,
Xbox.
let me know. Wait for the new Xbox that's coming out. You can get that, and even if you want to use your PlayStation controller, you can still use that on Xbox.
Really?
There's an adapter. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do that. That's the only way.
Because a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, I don't like the controller," or this and that. You know, it's all personal preference.
Right.
So yeah.
Now, something you said about 30 minutes ago. Just really quick, I want to bring this up. When you said about Cypress Hill, you were playing, everybody else saying, "Oh, that's just fucking whack." I had the demo when they were shopping their deal.
No way.
Steve YANO had given it to me, and I remember I fucking loved it, but I got the same reaction that you got.
It was different.
Yes.
It sounded different. You want to be different. You knew different.
Yes.
When you heard it, it didn't sound like anything we've ever heard. And it's from Southgate.
Yes.
And they're Latino.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Fuck. It's
Yes.
easy. And
we actually brought him out for Nick's birthday.
my 18th
It was
birthday.
his 18th birthday.
Cypress Hill performed at my birthday
Yeah.
in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
At the Kern County Fairgrounds.
Wow.
And actually, we got our name from the two fat Mexicans came from B-Real.
From B-Real. Yeah, our very first show, was he our first guest?
Yeah.
Yeah, B-Real and
Sun Doobie. Funk Dubious.
Funk Dubious. B-Real was our first guest, and he's like, and the two fat guys. Yeah. And then we took that and turned it into two fat Mexicans.
No, and then there was a time where you guys just lost like a gang ass weight.
That was all Nick. I'm still fat as fuck.
Me.
Yeah. I mean, just health reasons?
Health concerns, yeah, actually.
Okay. All good, brother. Now, I want to take the time right now to give, you guys want to give any shout outs? Let's start with you.
Oh, man. Shout out to everybody who's watching us on YouTube right now.
Twitch Mob.
Will the Conqueror, Mike D. I seen him in there. Who was it? Who else was
Melissa G. Shouts out to all the family that is watching and tuned in right now. Austin, Butler, Debbie, all the Wilson family, and the Gonzalez family tuned in and watching as well.
All the Twitch mob. We have our own little Twitch mob. So when we were doing the show on Dash, we'd stream on Twitch, YouTube. So we had a YouTube Mafia, and we had Twitch mob and Facebook family. So we had different gangs, online gangs.
So now, for me, when will you guys be back? Do you guys have a date on Dash?
Right now, no. We don't have a date, especially with all this bullshit going on right now. There's no date. So we're just like, that's what led me back to doing the production, because we had the off time. So might as well concentrate on doing some music as well.
So now, as far as music, are you guys still using SP12, or you guys moved on to
Ableton?
All Ableton.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's what you would recommend. So let's just say somebody comes up to you and says, I want to learn how to produce. What would you recommend them?
Ableton.
Get it for free. Ableton Lite. Right now, you can get it for free.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that.
You can produce any kind of music you want on there. And look through tutorials on YouTube. That's how I learned. And if you know somebody that knows Ableton, ask them to come over and buy them a drink and let them help show you.
Okay, I'm going to have to look that up, because everybody kept telling me Logic.
Logic is good, but it's very confusing. It's very professional. It's good. It's Apple.
If you're familiar with like Pro Tools, Logic will work for you.
Yeah.
If you're a DJ, like you are, the 4-track thing, Ableton is more DJ friendly.
Okay, that's what I needed to hear.
Ableton's more DJ friendly, but also I just seen a couple videos of people working on Serato Studio as well. So I seen one with Just Blaze working on that, and Jazzy Jeff and all those guys. So they're starting to use that too. That's another type of platform for producing.
Okay. You know what? I have to ask you this question. Last question, and then I'll get my shout outs and we'll get the fuck out of here. Now, what do you guys think? Because you guys, to me, you guys have interviewed and been on top, if you will, of, let me just say it, the world. Okay. Power 106, morning show, interviewed Biggie, Mary J. Blige, James Brown.
Yeah.
Where do you guys see, or what do you guys think about Chicano rap?
Chicano rap, I think they've been pigeonholed as far as their style. They stay in their one lane, and that's fine. They can do that, but if they want to blow up outside of that, you got to do what like somebody like Big Pun did, or somebody like Cypress Hill did, or name a couple other ones you can think of that kind of broke out of that mode.
Kid Frost, Melloman Ace.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of Latinos that did real big, and Immortal Technique, for that matter, Latino heavy. Gavi is another Latino, but he's more on the Christian rap, but he's, R&B, and, but he's still doing his thing. I would say expand yourself outside of your neighborhood.
Thank you. I think that's the best way to put it, because a lot of people have asked me, why do you think a Chicano rapper has never blown up to the stature of a Snoop, of a Game, or whatever?
Yeah, you got to be more mass appeal. And then also, what I tell people, even no matter what race they are, if your record don't sound good between the two biggest hit records that I'm playing right now, whether it's Drake, Life is Good, or the new whatever it is, it's got to stand its own. It's got to have its own weight to be able to stand between those records.
And there's so much culture and there's so much beauty in Latinos that there's a lot to build from. There's a lot to pull from besides, just gangbanging and selling drugs. And people do that all the time, but there's also love songs and there's also heartbreak. There's some, broad things that you can build off of. Your neighborhood, like gentrification, There's all kinds of things that everybody's going through that you might be able to tap into to help broaden your range.
Right. Because one thing that I would hear in the late 90s, they won't play my record. They won't support us. And they're supposed to be Mexican. Here's what I would say. And at that time, I didn't know what your guys' situation was at Power. But I said, well, you got to give them something to work with, bro.
Yeah. If it's not good, it's not good. That's it.
It's the same thing. Like you said, no matter what color you are, we're blind to color when it comes to music.
Yes.
Your music has got to be dope. If it's dope, it's dope. I don't care what color you are, what planet you're from, or neighborhood for that matter. If it stands next to Wu-Tang Clan, guess what? You're going to get played next to Wu-Tang Clan. But it's got to be that dope.
Dope. I'm glad you guys answered this question, and I'm sure everybody who's watching this would understand that and apply that to their music.
Absolutely. So, and if there's anything, questions that people have for us, we're an open book. We want to help guide folks and give them free knowledge that we've been given game for many, many years from people that just gave it to us. So, it's up to us to pass that along so they have success as well, the next generation.
So it's safe to say, from the bottom to the top, Baka Boyz.
Yeah.
And that's where in my book, that's where you guys are still at, brother.
Thank you, brother.
So
appreciate it.
God bless you guys, brother. Thank you guys for coming. I'm going to give my shout outs. My boy John motherfucking Elkins, who makes all this possible.
What up, John?
Yeah, make sure all you young hotties follow him at John motherfucking Elkins. I want him to get married. We need to be in Hawaii next year, sipping margaritas while he's getting his toes licked. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Yeah. Then my boy DG Media Clips, follow him on Instagram. Let me give a shout out to my boy Big Daddy Swoles. You don't want to fuck with Big Daddy Swoles.
No, you won't fuck with him.
And let me give a shout out to Sandy Pants, Sandy's Insights. Follow her as well on Instagram or whatnot. But also, I just want to say, to my son B Scanless for helping me promote this. Other than that, to Eric and Nick for coming, the Baker Boys, Bakersfield Royalty.
Thank you.
They build and they made Power 106. I said it here on Roadium Radio. Once again, brothers, thank you.
Hey, man, thank you. Oh, we go to this.
Yeah, we'll do one of these.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, everybody stay coronavirus.
Yeah, speaking of that, I wanted to throw in,
Yes.
I'm looking for a quarantine buddy, so help me out.
Yes. Okay.
Fat Guys Wear Black on Instagram, man. That's it.
Look them up. Stay blessed, everybody. We'll be back Sunday. Talk to you guys soon.